intersection and bust Woodley and Boston intersection and turn and come back down. But I wasn't sure where he went because I couldn't see him at the time. So I was slowing down a vehicle, pick him up because he was flagging on vehicle. So I was there, contemplating if somebody had pick him up. But then my wife said, no, them down the road. So we drove to where they were. And I, went close by, rolled on the window, trying to get to say to him, hoisa, hoisa, hoisa. And he wouldn't respond. Said it again, hoisa, hoisa. And him started to walk. So I went ahead, I drove in front of the part with the vehicle, and then him turned back, went back into the opposite direction as if he wants to, exited the vehicle very swiftly, approached him very aggressively, not him, oh man, nobody run, we are going to people and picnic. And then he stopped.
Yes.
And by the time he stopped, I was close enough to held on to him, very firmly, and ask him, man, where the people in picnic? She has been missing, where the people? And him said that take her away is him cousin beg him pick her up. So which cousin that? Where your cousin? I'm saying cousin live off Sharp Avenue. I mean, so your cousin name? And he mentioned some female to me. I don't remember the name that he said. And I said, but where Sharp Avenue is and where you are now with this child. I take her people and pick them and take her away, man, take her away. I'm cousin send him to pick up the child, persons were passerby that is happening. I remember two gentlemen came to see, leave their vehicle and came on as happening. And I told them that this little girl was abducted. But before I forget this part. Before I held on to him, asking him, wake this child from where doing it, the child in a position. The people in Pitney through the bush because he had burr all over his clothes. The kid have the same on her uniform and thing. He had him on his head, so take the time off his head and throw it on the ground. He had a in his hand. I tend to put a bucket down while holding on him up and thing. And my wife was shouting to me, see and let him let go the Pitney. So me pull the hand from his hand and say, come for her. And my wife took the child right back to the car, and then the two men came on scene, and she was saying, call the police, call. He was the guy who took away the girl, and they were asked, what's the police number, and I said, it's 119. But then I said, pass me the phone, and then I call a police officer, the SP, I call him, and then 2 minutes, before the police came, one of the gentlemen who stopped to his vehicle said, let us tie him up. And he went back to his vehicle, get two tie straps, and we put his hand behind him and restrained him until the police came. The police went to the scene very quickly, like within 2 minutes after we called the SP Cardoza, that the police came. And then two other more service units. The police who came first asked the man, and into that himself at the town bus park. Then the police came and the little girl, the girl is safe, then they, questioned some more there, and then I the scene after they took the girl to the service vehicle, to the hospital for medical checks, because waiting for her. And then I left my with the officer until they can reach out to me. So that was how that situation,
I tell you, it is, it's hard. All of us, the security forces and community members are so happy. But, how would you describe the partnership between the police, community members, and as your office, during the search,
Well, I must say that the police would have been doing their thing, because I would have seen them busily. The response time was good, and they would have sent out some blast, I think, using the different they have for persons to be alert. One get from all of this is that once there's a missing person, for
Yes.
more so children or minors, need to treat it seriously. Pay attention to it, be alert, be on the lookout, share information, take off your surrounding or the environment. Just be alert, be assertive.
Mhm.
Because at that time, my daughter, 6-year-old, just the same age as this child, was in the vehicle with me just the same, and want somebody who would have happened to be missing and somebody happens to be in that space have done something to save her. So for me, that was what me at the time. When I saw them, I was, have to save this little girl. It doesn't matter what the man may have
Yeah.
or whatever. There was this edge of or bravery that I get from it.
Yes.
And I must also say that the time span in which this thing do happen, I would have seen the WhatsApp message at 4:30. I would have
Yes.
talked to police at about 5 minutes after 5. And then by 10 minutes after, I saw the little girl. And the distance between where I saw the girl and where the school is about 2 kilometers. So we would have walked
Yes.
her some distance through the heavy vegetated area and try
Mhm.
to escape being seen, I'm not sure. But it's each time I start
Yes.
talking about it now, it keep giving me a different feeling from when it
Amen.
just happened.
So true. So true. Because it could have been. This incident has left many parents anxious. What reassurance can you offer families in Clarendon today?
And what I need to say to them, and this requires not just the parents, it requires the school input, it requires the parent association, and by extension, the communities. As our children about staying away from strangers. If a stranger is trying to you, to hold on to you, to take you away, scream, shout, and run away, run from the danger. Don't go to school, don't leave with anybody from school if I didn't tell you that this person to pick you up, even if, but it may in fact I didn't tell you that this person coming to pick up, do not leave with them. Get the attention of an adult. Scream, make noise. Stay away from strangers, things from strangers. Even if you know the person, but mommy or daddy didn't give you any permission or tell you to take it or to accept. These are the things
Yes.
that we just need to keep encouraging them. The school have a role to play to ensure that the safe while on the premises in their care. The protocol that them have in place need to be at and still keep enforcing, and the PTA
Yes.
need to just reassure, and the community by extension just need to get involved in anything that can able to prevent loss of life of any minor or anyone in particular, and just to share information. I think we now need to be good Samaritan, be our brothers and sisters keepers, and not telling anybody to put their self at risk or in harm's way. But if you can respond, or if you cannot respond, inform the police quickly so that they can able to give some support. But it's collaboration. It takes everybody being involved in this effort.
Yes. I know maybe you're not in the position, but I'm gonna ask and may somebody reach out to you. What support system are now in place to help the child and the family recover from this traumatic experience? If you know if there's any.
Well, I'm not aware, but I was at the Child Development Agency. I forget the abbreviation. Yesterday.
Yes.
I saw the little girl, and she was in high spirit, very polite,
Yes.
intelligent, child. So I know she was getting some level of parents are Christians, so I know they too will be, you know,
Yes.
doing whatever they can on the spiritual side in giving her counsel and try to have her getting over it. But when she saw me, she said to me, "That's the man who was wearing the who saved me yesterday." And
Wow.
from me, that is all the time to hear and get, that's
Oh
what
man.
matters, that you're at the right place at the right time to save that little from from whatever trauma, from whatever exposure that she will endure or undergo.
Mhm.
And that response from her means the world to me. I would have met her parents. They would have thanked me for my swift and
Yes.
brave reaction. And they just couldn't thank me enough. So I mean,
Yeah.
while she was concerned about the child's safety, but she was also concerned about my safety in the vehicle going
Yes.
out there to try to save that child, while our daughter was still looking through the window what was happening. Um, that we saw something was wrong. So we get that feeling and we acted.
All right, I tell you, you were that child's angel, you know, guardian angel, Tuesday evening, and I tell you, a lot of persons we are happy, that you manage,
Yeah.
with courage to challenge such a man because we have heard that he has a little mental issue and they can be very dangerous. They can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
And
Well,
for you to step forward,
well,
bravely.
yeah. Yeah, but
Yes,
I think all of this happened Father's intervention, because here
yes,
is it now. I would have seen the WhatsApp. I would have checked it. Not would have, but it so
yes.
happens that I would have checked it. I would have picked up my daughter a bit earlier, and I ran late that evening.
Ah,
Seeing the WhatsApp, reaching late for my daughter, seeing the WhatsApp message, draft travel. Everything was just, I believe, it was just, you know.
it
My
is.
daughter used to go to
It
that school,
is.
so I'll be familiar with the uniform. It's just God's intervention. The motorists would have passed and seen the man with the girl, but not knowing what was happening, they just went by, you know. So I
Amen.
think it was just
Yes,
God
sir.
works.
It is, sir. It is God's work. My final question to you: what final
Yeah.
message would you like to give to the people of Clarendon regarding vigilance and and community in schools, community, and in a wider aspect of Jamaica? What are the final message you'd want to leave to people tonight regarding vigilance?
I would say to them is that you cannot live in a bubble, because you will find yourself in irrespective of your social economic condition. You cannot live in a bubble and say
Amen.
that you're fine, because situation may arise where you just need a helping hand. Money can't help in that situation. So I would say to persons,
Amen.
be your good neighbor, be a good citizen within a country. And if you see something untoward happening, use the different mediums available to the police. If you live in a community and you see certain illegal activities happening, use a different medium and report it to the police. There will be time in which that situation may just come on your doorstep. You may find yourself in that position. Let us not be selfish. Let us not think of ourselves being better than anybody else, and be a good Samaritan. Do unto others that you want others do unto you. Those attitudes that we learned, and if you keep practicing that and be helpful, be kind, be courteous, then this place will be a better place for everybody.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you. And if you're just joining, I'm with, Counselor for the Hayes Division, Mr. C.M. Barneswell, former mayor of Maypen. I tell you, he single-handedly recovered the young girl that was kidnapped in Maypen, Clarendon. And he showed courage, and shows community worth, by, acting, not thinking about his safety, while his wife was thinking about his safety. He was not thinking about his safety. But I believe because he also has a young daughter at the age of 6 years old, the emotion, and then he knows what could have happened, and he acted, impromptu and in goodwill. Thank you, sir, and we thank you for your service. Thank you for what you did. May God continue to bless you and your family, your church family, and all those you come in contact with. Any last word before you go, sir?
Well, I also want to see the program, and I want to wish you all the success. And I'm looking forward to joining again with something different. All right.
All right. But this is a good note to start off with, sir. This is a good note to start off. A heroic act, and God bless you, sir. Take care. Walk good. Godspeed.
Have a good evening.
All right, sir. Same to you. Glory be to God.
Alpha and Omega. We